Welcome to The Source, where we combine the headlines with in-depth conversations with the newsmakers themselves. I'm Pinky Webb. Today on the program. Another school announces its closure. Leaving many parents and students shocked, angry, and disappointed.
Mag-uumpisa na yung pasukan eh. Late na nila sinasabi. Tapos ngayon, pahirapan pa nila kami sa pagkuha ng mga record.
Authorities are looking into possible violations while assisting students to transfer schools at the last minute. Education spokesperson Michael Poa and Quezon City Legal Department Head Orlando Casimiro join us live. A school in Quezon City is closing down due to financial woes. Colegio de San Lorenzo officials were met with angry reactions during a general assembly on Monday after parents of enrolled students found out the school was closing due to financial difficulties brought on by the pandemic, a decision revealed just days before the school year starts. Let's go straight to the source of the story. First off, we have education spokesperson Michael Poa. Attorney Poa, good to see you again, sir. Let me already ask you my question, sir. Maraming salamat po sa inyong oras. Were you informed, was the DepEd informed about the closure of Colegio de San Lorenzo?
Well, initially, when they announced the closure, I checked with the regional director, ma'am, and we didn't receive any formal communication from Colegio de San Lorenzo. However, as of yesterday afternoon, I was informed that the regional director already received a notice from Colegio de San Lorenzo regarding the said closure. Basically, what we did was, upon receiving the notice, the regional director had already formed a task force prior to talk to them and to coordinate with them regarding this closure and their plans. What happened next when we received the notice was that we issued a notice of conference to the administrator of Colegio de San Lorenzo, asking them to appear before the regional office of DepEd tomorrow so that they could discuss concrete plans on what they want to do with the students and how they are planned to transfer these students to other educational institutions or schools.
Okay, but attorney, what is the protocol? Should the DepEd first and foremost be informed that a school is planning to close down?
Yes, ma'am, definitely, because they need an acknowledgement or certificate acknowledging their closure from the Department of Education. Part of the process is before we issue such certification, we need to ensure that all transfer credentials of the students are given to the students or are released and processed. Now, aside from that, according to Department Order number 88, the schools are allowed to, of course, voluntarily close when they see fit. However, this must be done after each school term. It cannot be during the middle of the term. Although what happened here was technically after the school term, the problem here is that it's only a few days away from the opening of classes of the new term.
You're right about that. It's after, so Department Order 88 allows the closure after a school ends. So, okay, it ended, but it's also about to begin. The thing is, hindi ho ba, attorney, nagbayad na po yung mga magulang, nagbayad na po yung mga estudyante. Everything was supposed to be ready. And I was actually checking, were they supposed to actually start last Monday when they were told that they were closing, or they were told last Monday and then they're supposed to start school on Monday, this coming Monday?
I'll check on their own calendar because they're a private school, but technically our classes will open on August 22.
Right.
The problem here, yun nga po, although we saw that they already had a press release saying that they will fully refund the students, I hope they could really process this because, of course, these students will have to transfer to other schools, and those who will be transferring to other private schools would have to also shoulder or pay certain tuition fees.
Yeah.
If I just
go
quickly add, go ahead.
Attorney, go ahead.
If I may just quickly add, what we're doing now, because of course, aside from these issues on why we weren't notified immediately, or at least given enough time to sit down with them to plan for this eventual closure, what we're trying to do now is to remedy the situation and help the students. Specifically, we're very fortunate to have received a formal offer from an international school, Thames International School, and they are willing to accept grades 11 and 12 students into their school, into their program. And as to the fees, they said they said two things. Number one, that they are willing to charge the students the same amount of fees that Colegio San Lorenzo charge their students. So walang difference po sa tuition fee rates. Secondly, they do understand that it might take some time for the refund to be fully given back to these students. So what they're saying is they are willing to accept these students, and then as to the tuition fees, they will wait for the full refund to be given by Colegio de San Lorenzo before they will charge these students coming into TEM. So iintayin nila na mabigay muna yung refund bago po nila sisingilin yung ating mga students sa grades 11 and 12.
That's good news, sir.
That's good news, and we're
Opo.
hoping that other schools can also help us, ma'am.
Okay. I'm sure to those watching us, dun sa parents at mga estudyante, ang sinasabi na nga po, papayagan sila nitong eskwelahan. It's a private school as well. So, they just need to go there. Sabi nga ni Attorney Poa, you don't need to pay right now. You only pay once you get your refund. So, paano ho yun, Attorney? They have a promissory note of some sort, or will this school coordinate with Colegio de San Lorenzo, although that might be difficult because I'm sure they have their hands full as well?
Yes, ma'am. We'll come out with the proper details and make a public announcement because we have a meeting today with TEM School. Our regional director is set to meet them. So once they thresh out the details on what the students need to actually bring when they go to TEM School to, for the transfer, we will try to come out with an announcement either later today or at the latest tomorrow morning.
Very good, sir. Okay, so wait for that announcement. They have a meeting today. The DepEd will have a meeting today about this. But let's clarify, no, Attorney, what I heard was only grades 11 to 12.
Yes. Yes, ma'am, unfortunately. So we're also still, hoping that other schools can come forward, offer the same terms, and help us with these students that are seemingly displaced at the moment.
Okay, anything else you want to add? Because ang dami pa po niyan. Meron pang preschool, may grade school, and there's also college. You know, one of the concerns they were saying, Attorney, is that paano yung mga graduating students? Paano ho kaya sila?
Oo, yun po talaga yung problema. That's why we're happy, at least for the grades 12, meron na tayong solusyon. But aside from that, tomorrow, since the notice of conference issued to Colegio de San Lorenzo is set for tomorrow, we will want to hear concrete plans coming from their end kung sino ba kung may nakausap ba sila na ibang schools that will absorb these students. Now, if they're not able to give us that, then we will have to really reach out and see if there are other schools that will come forward and help us with this dilemma.
And it's nice that we already have one school for them, except the only the issue is, it's not really a problem. I don't want to call it a problem because it's good news, is that it will cater to grades 11 to 12. Just going back, you were saying that there's a Department Order 88 that allows them to voluntarily close before or after a school ends. Indeed, the school or the term, the semester ended or the year. But kasi tumanggap, at siguro what boggles the mind of many is, tumanggap sila ng pera, and then on that Monday, that maybe the school was about to start, or it's supposed to be the Monday after that. I mean, why did it have to be on such short notice if the considerations were financial losses at low enrollment? I mean, by that time or a week before they made the announcement, they must have had an idea on this, what they call low enrollment. Di ho ba?
That's very true, ma'am. No, although we don't know yet what the reasons are. In fact, one of the topics in the meeting tomorrow will be for them to explain why this happened. Of course, on our end, we would have appreciated advance notice so that we could have made the necessary preparations para hindi na rin mo problema. Hindi lang po yung Department of Education, but definitely more so yung mga parents and yung mga estudyante or learners. So we'll have to get to the bottom of it also and see what really transpired and what caused them to make such an abrupt announcement.
Exactly. The word is abrupt. Yeah.
On our part, as to sanctions, again, this is something we're studying, but then, to be honest, sanctions that we usually impose on schools would be suspension of their license, recognition, and all that, which is really not going to be as effective now since seeing that the school has closed.
It's moot. Yeah, it's going to be moot na, an academic ika nga. Attorney, I just want you to, I know you're very busy attending to a lot of things. Let's listen to some of the comments of the students and and parents rather.
Opo.
Nakakagalit po kasi expected po namin na magiging masaya po yung school year namin ngayon and wala po kaming school na mapapasukan.
Mag-uumpisa na yung pasukan eh. Late na nila sinasabi. Tapos ngayon, pahirapan pa nila kami sa pagkuha ng mga records, mga transcript. Hindi pa nagpapapasok. Kanina pa ako nakapila dito.
Yung dean ng department namin nag-recommend na rin ng schools. But then, yung schools na na-recommend kasi is not aligned to our program. May nagre-recommend na school na sa kanila lang daw kami. Pero kasi ako, film major. Pero yung course nila doon is for broadcasting lang.
Oh, okay. That's a very important concern, no, Attorney? Would you like to respond
Yes,
to that?
Yes, that's really a very important concern. We have to align or match at least their chosen field, especially sa grade 12 for the incoming students. So that's something we will also definitely consider. Hopefully, matulungan po talaga tayo ng ibang schools. Well, the public school system, we have control over that. So if there's a need to accommodate these students, we'll see what we can do. Right now, it's really more of a proactive approach. Seeing that wala na ilang araw na lang, pasukan na. So right now, our energy will be focused on really a more proactive approach of finding ways, looking for partners to help us in this endeavor to bring them back to school.
Yeah, you have to channel your energy there because on Monday, school begins. School opening na nga po. This is what we talked about even last night. We had a special on this. Any siguro advice, concerns, or what do you want to tell the public when school begins on Monday?
Well, as I said, it will not be without challenges when we open the school year this year. However, the DepEd is always here. We have a command center now. I think the media has already given the numbers. We will reiterate these numbers and give them to you also so that you can help us disseminate, ma'am. But so any concerns, any issues, they can easily call the command center. I will be there myself so that we can monitor the situation and try to intervene as fast as we could. As regards San Lorenzo, the Department of Education will be doing everything it can, maybe reach out to partners and see if other schools would be willing to step up and help accommodate these students. Thank you very much for your time.
And that's what we're going to do. We'll try to get more information from the education spokesperson, Attorney Michael Pawa, regarding this para may public service po tayo sa ating mga estudyante at mga guro. Yun pa. Sorry sir, mabilis lang pa. Paano yung mga teachers, yung teaching and non-teaching personnel?
Well, yung teaching person, ang natanong din po sa akin yan kahapon over messages lang with the media. The problem here is they are not government employees, no? They are private employees. So their relationship is with the school itself. However, we are happy, although wala pa akong detalye din, yung same school, yung Thames International School, I heard is also willing to absorb teaching personnel. So hopefully, but under Department Order number 88, after a voluntary closure, the teachers are entitled to separation pay.
Okay.
So we hope that the school can also provide not only refund the tuition fees they collected, that they can also provide the separation pay mandated by law to these teachers
We'll
and
continue to
non-teaching
get
staff.
more updates on this from education spokesperson Michael Pawa. Sir, I know you need to go. Maraming salamat po sa inyong oras.
Maraming salamat, Ma'am Pinky. It's always a pleasure. Thank
you,
you po.
sir. And more on Colegio de San Lorenzo's closure when we return. We'll tell you because the Quezon City Legal Department head, Attorney Orlando Casimiro, met with some officials of the school. What did they talk about and what is the plan? We'll tell you after the short break. You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. I'm Pinky Webb. Our source today, Quezon City Legal Department Head, Attorney Orlando Casimiro. Attorney Casimiro, welcome to The Source. Thank you so much for your time, sir.
Yes, Ma'am Pinky. Good morning and also to all your viewers and listeners.
Share with us, you had a meeting yesterday with some of the officials of Colegio de San Lorenzo, sir. Tell us more about what happened during the meeting.
That is correct, ma'am. Upon knowing, ma'am, of the predicament of Colegio de San Lorenzo, the Honorable Mayor Joy Belmonte instructed me to meet with the council and the officials of the said school. So yesterday, they laid out their plans that was consistent with their previous statement in their Facebook account, wherein they said they undertook to pay or refund the tuition fees, school uniforms, and they also assured that kanina I heard Attorney Po yata talk about the teaching and non-teaching personnel. They undertook also to comply with all labor laws and to pay a separation pay along with the other incentives that are due these people.
Pinangako
That was,
okay, attorney, isa-isahin natin So sabi nila i-refund nila yung mga tuition, obviously, yung mga libro at yung mga uniforme. Did they tell you why they had to announce? Kailan ho ba dapat mag-uumpisa ang eskwela sa Colegio de San Lorenzo? Was it last Monday when they announced that they were closing, or is it this coming Monday, sir?
It was August 15, ma'am, that I found out that they announced that there will be a general assembly that coincides with the opening of school last Monday, August 15.
So
it turned out that instead of welcoming, they broke the bad news to their lawyers.
Yun na nga po. So, tama ho yung what I had read or assumed, that the day that they were supposed to start school was the day they announced na hindi magsasara po sila.
That is correct, ma'am. So they had their lawyers confront or be the front lines in breaking the bad news to all these parents and students alike.
Attorney, kinwento o sinabi ho ba nila sa inyo bakit nagkaroon sila ng anunsyo on the day the school starts? Because it's very unfair, number one. It angers and disappoints those involved, the students, the teachers, and their parents. Bakit sinabi ho ba nila bakit nila in-announce yun on the day that school was supposed to begin?
Wala silang sinabi directly, Ms. Pinky, Well, aside from being unfair, that's very unusual that you're scheduled to hold your first day of classes and then you announce that the school is closing. So definitely there's something there that we need to find out. That's why the mayor tasked me, because definitely there'll be legal issues to be faced by the school officials and along those who are supposed to be held liable. So kakaiba po yung nangyari. And right now, the most important thing for the Quezon City LGU is to help these people because time is of the essence na makalipat po yung ating mga learners nga and the students, especially the college students, because yung mga fourth-year students, ma'am, they are supposed to graduate this year. Tapos suddenly actually, ayaw na nga nila mag-transfer. They just want to finish their courses so that they can proceed on with their lives.
Yeah. How many students were affected, attorney?
From the data given to me by the school, from nursery to grade 12, they have around 717 students. For the college students enrolled and registered for this year, spread out in 8 colleges, they have around 652, ma'am. 172 of them are fourth-year students or graduating students.
So we're talking about 1,400 students affected.
In total, ma'am, excluding the teachers and syempre pati yung mga janitor doon, ma'am, we have to include them. Di po sila pwedeng mawala.
Lahat yun kailangan ng trabaho, sir. In terms of, would you know how many teachers there are? If there are about 1,400 students, more or less, ilan po yung teaching at ilan po yung non-teaching personnel?
Ms. Pinky, ang sabi po ng eskwelahan sa akin kapon, they will give me the data today, so inuna ko lang po muna yung mga estudyante.
Okay.
Kasi we have to transfer them, we have to help them transfer schools or coordinate with the Commission on Higher Education to assist them so that yung credits kasi, ma'am, yung credits ng mga units, that's a jurisdiction of the Commission on Higher Education. So kailangan po ma-credit sila kasi kung hindi rin po ma-credit, sayang lang po yung pinaghirapan ng mga estudyante in their 4 years of stay or even basta yung stay in college.
Yun nga sabi nila, attorney Kasi ang fear ng ibang estudyante, baka kailangan silang mag-repeat nung kanilang year. Yun yung isa sa mga issues. Okay, let's find solutions to this problem because there were promises made by the school to the Quezon City government? We'll find out after the short break. Please stay tuned. You're watching The Source on CNN Philippines. I'm Pinky Webb. Our source today, Quezon City Legal Department Head Orlando Casimiro. So, Attorney, how to move forward na po tayo? Ano ho ba ang kanilang ipinangako? Umpisa na natin sa refund.
Yes, Ms. Pinky, yesterday during our conversation with the school president and her council, their council, ang sabi nila, ready naman po yung eskwelahan para bayaran starting yesterday. So ang kanilang sinasabi po ay ready naman na po yung mga cheque. Actually, they have a shortage of checks daw, so they're willing to pay in cash. Even to the extent of promising kahit GCash na lang daw. Pero of course, we need to fix all the necessary documents. So as regards to that undertaking, ma'am, we just need to push them to make it quicker para po mabilis na ma-refund ng mga parents yung kanilang mga binayad sa school.
Do they have a number, sir, on a daily basis na kailangan nilang ma-refund para po matapos yung mga estudyante muna na numbering 1,400? Did they promise in a matter of 3 days or 5 days?
Well, they were promising everything yesterday because siguro dahil City Legal Department. But we'll see by their actions, ma'am. Starting today, they should be handing over the checks as long as there are claimants, ma'am. Dapat po hindi sila tumigil. If needed be, dapat nga po hindi na sila magpahinga dyan. Because time is of the essence.
Totoo po. Baka sigurado pong dadagsain sila dahil kailangan po ng tao yung pera. Kailangan nila yung kanilang tuition para makapaglipat. Ang daming problema kailangan ng pera at kailangan ng eskwelahan na lilipatan nila. So, okay, so they promised that everything will be refunded, sir. All, lahat po, lahat ng binayad.
Lahat, ma'am, including the textbooks, the ones paid for the uniforms, even as to the labor aspect, all the incentives, the amounts due by law to these employees, the teachers, and up to the lowest level, ma'am, they said that they will give it to their council. Tapos they also enumerated additional schools, ma'am, that are willing to take in students who want to transfer. I think here on my list they have around 8 schools pa, ma'am, to refer to the.
What does that mean, sir? Sila po ang magre-refer dun sa mga estudyante o sasabihin po nila dun sa mga students and parents, here's a list of 7 or 8 schools that your children can go to, or will they facilitate that?
As I understand, ma'am, they should coordinate because while in some instances, these schools mentioned siguro around 8, some of the 8 schools, they voluntarily contacted Colegio de San Lorenzo to offer their school. Others naman, I think they heeded the call because they acknowledge that it's a very difficult situation for the students. So in all instances, ma'am, they should be there because it's their responsibility. Even without prejudice to cases being filed, at this point in time, they should always be present in solving this problem.
Dapat hindi sila, kumbaga, sir, hindi sila pwedeng mawala in every step na kailanganin sila ng estudyante, ng mga magulang, ng teaching and non-teaching personnel. How else can the Quezon City government help, sir, para po sabihin po natin, in a worst case scenario, hindi pa po nila sabihin natin nakukuha yung refund or walang humaharap sa kanila. Yun lang po. How can the QC government help? Are you ready for them, for the students, for the teachers, and for the parents?
Yes, Ms. Pinky, as early as Monday, the mayor has already instructed all relevant departments and offices to accommodate these affected families, students, the workers in all Quezon City-based programs. So we start with the Public Employment Service Office, which we'll see if we could match jobs doon po sa mga teachers and non-teaching personnel to refer them or to have them get them employed. We also have pangkabuhayan programs sa LGU. And at the same time, ma'am, our very own Quezon City University is willing to accommodate those who are willing to transfer. Meron ko kaming kolehiyo dito sa Quezon City, and it's already open para po sa kanila.
Okay. Meron ho ba kayong hotline na bubuksan para po sa mga mangangailangan ng tulong? Kasi ang mangyayari ho siguro, sir, niyan, kung di nila makuha yung nararapat na para sa kanila, maghahanap po sila ng assistance o tulong either sa QC o kaya sa DepEd, hindi ho ba? Are you opening a hotline on them so that they'll be able to air their concerns or grievances to either the LGU or the DepEd?
Yes, ma'am. We will welcome them. Aayusin po namin ngayong araw lahat yan. Pero in the meantime, I will offer my personal number po because I will be the point person as instructed by the mayor para po mabilis pong masolusyonan yung mga concerns ng tao, lalo na yung constituency po ng Quezon City.
And when you mean that you will offer your personal number, how will they know your personal number, sir?
I will, kahit dito on air, ma'am, I'll just make
Sigurado po kayo dyan,
dito po sa aming...
Sa Facebook?
Okay lang po, ganyan po ang kasama po sa trabaho.
Opo, sige, hintayin natin. Baka hindi memorize ni attorney yung kanyang number. Sir, I wanted to ask you, how can you assure or sana ho kasi, I guess a similar incident won't happen again, di ho ba? And apparently this is the second Quezon City school to close, if I'm not mistaken. Yung Kalayaan College din po last month. Sana ho hindi ito mangyari ulit. And what steps or measures can be done so that a similar incident won't happen again? Especially, sir, on the day that classes were supposed to begin. They were told that the school was going to close permanently.
I agree with you, Ms. Pia. No? The LGU, ma'am, si Mayor Joy Belmonte po, she has a education cluster. So I will be joining that cluster to study po. Definitely, hindi po pwede yung ganito. And we will see to it that none of these things happen again in the future. We also ask assistance from the Commission on Higher Education, also the DepEd, to also join us kasi sila po talaga yung nag-regulate sa mga eskwela na ito. Pero on the part of the LG, ma'am, you can be assured na nandyan po kami to exact accountability doon po sa mga hindi po gumagawa ng tama.
Attorney, would you like to share your number or should they just look for it sa Facebook account po ng QC?
Abangan na lang po sa Facebook account ng baka kasi dagsain po kagad and we will just filter map to official communications to official numbers po ng Quezon City Government.
Quezon City
Pero I
Legal...
meant it kung
Ayan na, may tumatawag na po.
naman po sa akin.
Hindi niyo naman binigay yung number.
Wala po.
Okay, look for it
wala
sa Facebook page ng Quezon City. That's Attorney Casimiro, Orlando Casimiro. Sir, maraming salamat po sa inyong oras. Thank you.
Maraming salamat din po, Ms. Pinky, and to your program, More Power po.
To you too. Thank you for joining us here on The Source. I'm Pinky Webb. You're watching CNN Philippines.